Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name is Austin. The year is finally over. Wow, first of all, what a fantastic year for the channel. I appreciate all the support from you guys, especially the people that come and join me on the channel. Doing other reviews or commentaries with other people is always a lot of fun. So had a great time with those. A lot of great memories created this year, and now it's time to bring it to a close by talking about the best movies of 2024. Now, clearly from the looks of it, I am in a new setup. Now I'm not doing this in front of a fireplace anymore. And it only took 6 years to get to an actual setup, but it's also still kind of a work in progress. Now, with that being said, let's get into my best movies of 2024 list. To let everyone know right off the bat, this isn't going to be reviews of the movies. I'm just going to give my quick little thoughts on it. If you want full-on reviews of these movies, you can find them on my channel. But before we can get into the list, the top 10 best movies of 2024, I was about to say 5. We're not there yet. I do got some honorable mentions, so let's get right into it. Lisa Frankenstein, a movie that shows that rom-coms can be good and also fun. I really like this movie, and I like the costume designs in this movie. This movie, brought so much fun because I'm not a big fan. I'm fans of romance or rom-coms type of films. The chemistry between Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse, they really clicked very well together in this film. Very funny, a lot of great humor, especially dark humor. This is a pretty dark film as well. Next is Inside Out 2. Had a lot of fun with Inside Out 2. Very emotional. It shows that Disney can still make animation films for adults and kids, and both coming out liking them and getting 2 different stories out of it while they were watching it. Saturday Night, I did not hear much talk about, which is so weird because this movie is actually really good. I believe it's getting nominated for some Oscars, but the way that they pulled this film off, from the sets to the acting to how the story was put together, they all do a fantastic job at it, and it's a ton of fun. Wild Robot, another great animation movie, especially from DreamWorks. DreamWorks has been kicking it in Disney's butt when it comes to these animation movies, because lately DreamWorks is my new go-to animation studio to be entertained and go on an adventure and go on a story, especially with this movie. Got a lot of nostalgia for WALL-E, as well as Open Season. Great combination of WALL-E and Open Season combined into one. And the final movie I gotta mention here before we get into our main list is Twisters. This is a movie going in I did not expect much, but I came out walking really liking it and having more of a fun time than I thought I was going to. Brought back a lot of summer blockbuster fun for theaters this year. The chemistry between Daisy and Glenn Powell, they work so fantastically well. It also focuses on the aftermath of these terrible situations that happens in our real world with hurricanes or tornadoes. A lot of things in this movie is ridiculous, but they do bring it to ground level to make you feel and care about these characters and have a really good time with it. Now let's get into my top 10 best movies of 2024.
Number 10.
At number 10, I have Alien Romulus. This is a film that I was really looking forward to this year. I'm a big fan of Alien, and everything about the trailers and the promotion for this movie was just on point with the practical effects, the casting, the set designs, the lighting, and next when you actually sit in the movie, you actually feel scared for once. They made Xenomorph scary again. They dropped the whole Prometheus story BS from Covenant. I don't hate Prometheus. I actually really do like Prometheus a lot, but Alien Covenant destroyed that storyline for me, and this movie actually kind of fixes Alien Covenant in a way which I really like. And the dynamic between Rain and Andy, having this sibling bondage, even though Randy is a robot, and they did a very good job at making you feel for these characters.
Number 9.
At number 9, A Quiet Place Day 1. A lot of people were mixed with this movie, but I actually really did like the movie. The setting to be in New York, stuff that they did do with New York were really cool. You did learn some new lore with the creatures. My whole entire favorite scene in this movie is just when they were sitting around and talking most of the time. The dialogue between the characters were really meaningful in this movie. Brought this franchise back to its horror routes than what part 2 did, making it more actiony. This movie actually felt scary.
Number 8.
Speaking of films being scary, Heretic is a great ass horror film. Religion talk between the characters was fantastic. The tension building throughout this whole entire movie was very on point. This is a very kind of almost artsy horror film in a way, where most of the film of this film is just straight up dialogue, and every word that comes out of these characters' mouths is just tension building every single letter word. Especially great performance from Hugh Grant, a role that I've never seen him in before, which I would love to see more of him playing roles like this, especially like in horror films.
Number 7.
Ordinary Angel is a fantastic feel-good type of movie where it does make you weep towards the end, and shows that there are good people in the world, that the world is just not always like a terrible place. It's just about being a good person and helping people in need, even though that they didn't ask for it.
Number 6.
Deadpool and Wolverine is probably the movie that I laughed the most out of any film this year. This movie is fucking hilarious. Just a feel-good type of movie where, yes, if you really think about the story, it kind of doesn't really make sense when you think about like how Wolverine factors and works into that universe, and how Deadpool can travel to another form of timeline that isn't his timeline. It does get messy in that way, but the movie is funny. The action is great. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is fun and fantastic, and even a terrifying villain. I did like the villain in this movie. Next, all the cameos. This movie was just a fun blockbuster, and it really made the summer time very fun.
Number 5.
And number 5, Dune Part 2. I thought this was going to be my number 1 movie of the year because I love this movie. Dune Part 2 is just a fantastic space opera type of film. The special effects in this movie, the tension of Paul Atreides becoming the leader, building throughout this film, is fantastic. Performances from Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya is just their chemistry really, really works.
Number 4.
Number 4, Unsung Hero. This is a movie about a family that moved from Australia, and they're trying to start a new life, and next they find out that one of their kids has a very good talent at singing, and so she's trying to make a career out of that and trying to inspire people to do something with their gifts, and her gift is singing. And this is just such a feel-good movie, especially to watch with the family.
Number 3.
And at number 3 is Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. I didn't really know much about Christopher Reeves, and this movie filled so much knowledge about this guy's life. Like, this is such an inspirational documentary about a guy who got in this tragic accident, who cannot simply walk anymore, but he still is trying to give hope to other people, and that's why people still picture him as Superman today, and they practically call him the real life Superman. If you have not already, go out and watch this movie. It's probably on HBO Max by now. Throw it on, watch it. You will be emotionally moved by it.
Number 2.
At number 2, I have Late Night with the Devil. This movie is fucking great and terrifying and horrific. I really like found footage stuff, so this takes like found footage to the next level, where you have this one forgotten TV episode where just everything goes wrong, where the host of that episode apparently was talking to the devil that night. This year really shined for horror films. There are a lot of great horror films, as well as bad ones, but a lot of great horror films this year, and this was definitely one of them. Not one of your jump out type of scary horror films, but when tension is building to the finale in this movie, holy shit, it's fucking insane. And it shows that David can hold a film by himself, and I would love to see him lead more stuff in the future.
Number 1.
And here we are, finally, at our number 1 movie of 2024. I had a lot of movies in this spot. Dune Part 2 was in this spot for a while throughout the year. And I was like, Dune Part 2 is the one that's locked in. This is my number 1 movie of the year. But then The Last Stop in Yuma County came out, and at first I skipped this movie, but then a friend told me, like, hey, you need to go watch this because I know for a fact you're going to like this movie. And yeah, he was right. I love this movie. This brought back so many late 1980s and early 1990s feel type of film, where a film just mostly takes place at this gas station, and next where everyone's just, and the gas station doesn't have any gas and everyone's running out of gas, and um, and next you have these robbers who just robbed a bank and they don't have any gas in their car, and they're stuck in this gas station. They're trying to stay low and try to get away from the cops and make sure that no one recognizes them. And tension just of that is building throughout this whole entire film. And that's when everything just goes down. Everyone a lot of horrific stuff happens in this movie, and it kind of makes you question of what would you do in this moment? And when you had the opportunity to maybe take this money, would you take the money? Simply normal people trying to live their normal lives, and they just get thrown in this scenario, and they're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that was my top 10 movies, kind of top 15 really, of 2024. There was a lot of great movies that came out this year. I had a really difficult time trying to figure out which order after the really the third spot, trying to figure out where to put these movies, because a lot of the movies were really good, but they were really neck at neck with one another, trying to figure out what spot to put them in, because they were just really that great. We're still not done yet. We still have one more video to do. We still got the worst movies of 2024 to do, and gosh, there's a lot. The list piled up real fast, and I had a hard time trying to figure out where to put these movies on this list. Anyway, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts of the movies on my list. Let me know your guys' list in the comment section below. Like I said, you guys can check out reviews on these movies. I'll leave links in the description. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys next review. Bye, guys.